It's a little bit overcast today, which is really, really nice, which makes it a lot cooler. But good morning, everyone, and welcome back. So today is the big day. We are pregnancy scanning. Martha's coming at 1 o'clock. I think it's about 11 o'clock at the moment. I'm just putting these cups over the rails here. Because we only use this right side here, and she'll come down here in her trolley. Just by hanging these up, it gets the droppers out of the way, which is really nice. Just gives her a little bit more room. I better put the chains up as well. I've actually stuck my herd in the party paddock right beside the shed. So this year I thought I'd try something a little bit different. Might as well put them there, so then they're just straight out the gate into it. Don't have to wait very long. But it's just getting them out of this gate in the afternoon, which might be a bit of trouble because they'll think that they'll be going to the feed pad for their lunch or afternoon tea, so getting them out here might be a little bit difficult, but I'll see how they go. It might not be too bad. I'm not actually too sure where Dad put the young herd today. Wednesday, so they're in paddock 30 and 30 is there. So they have got a little bit of a walk. They've got to come all the way back here. Not too bad. I haven't actually decided which herd I'm going to start with. I was thinking maybe I'll get the young herd at like 12:30, bring them up, whack them through. If we start at like 1:15, it should take maybe roughly 45 minutes to an hour. And then from here I'll just put them straight onto their chicory break, which will be like roughly 2 o'clock, and then the others will come in. They'll take like an hour and a half, and then they can just go to the feed pad, which will be about 3:30, 4 o'clock. That'll work, something like that. She's actually just texted me to say she's going to be finished earlier than she thought. And I just sent one back saying, oh, let me know when you're leaving. Give me a little bit of notice and I'll go and get the cows in. So that's good. It probably will be good to start a little bit earlier than 1. I'm just making sure this chicory break's all set up and the reel's done at that end, which is good. Cows are actually on their 3rd rotation. There's about a week's worth in here. I think there's actually 8 days in here, or 8 breaks. It's definitely helped all this rainfall we've had. Like, it's growing like stink still. It's good. So that was yesterday, obviously. The gate's shut as well, so Dad must have set that up for me, which is good. Might be a bit of trouble getting them up the race there, because they'll think they'll be coming in. The walnuts are growing on these trees though. This is a line of walnut trees. And this is what they look like before they turn into shells. They actually sort of go black and rotten like this, and then a sort of shell comes out from it. There's a line of them down there. There's probably maybe 10 or 15, maybe 15. Not every tree's got fruit on it. They've probably been there for, I don't know, 100, 120 years maybe. How about that for timing? She's actually just called and said they're on their way, 15 minutes, so perfect. We'll get these girls on up to the shed. While I wait for them a little bit, it's probably a good point to talk about it. So it's going to be interesting, I think, today for me, because this is the first year we've solely relied on the collar data, and I'm picking, or so far that the collars have told me that there is 33 cows that are sort of empty in here. It's going to be sort of interesting to see how accurate that is to what they scan, and how many cows are in that group that actually are empty. I'm picking it's probably mostly right. There might be a couple that might not be, but I'd say most of them probably are, which is over 10%. And for a once a day herd, I really want to be around the 6 to 8% mark for a 9-week mating, that is. I think the 6 week might still be alright. That's how many cows are in calf, or due to calve in the first 6 weeks. I'm hoping that's going to be 75% plus, but I think the empty rate this year could be sitting like a little bit over to sort of that 12 or 13%. If it is, it's not all bad, but it's not good either. And the reason we want a lower one is because we have 25% of the 25% replacement rate coming through, which is quite high. But the reason we sort of want a lower empty rate is because that just means we can cull the bad cows out. We can cull more bad cows out and let sort of the new ones come in to replace them. Whereas if it's higher, you get less cows that you can cull, so you've got to sort of keep some that you might potentially send to the work. So That's why I want to get a low one, but it's gonna be interesting. Time will tell. The front's just got to that gate. Hopefully they might just stand there for a while, and then one or two might decide to go and have a look at the other cows, and it'll get the whole lot going. But it looks like they're moving. Maybe they're doing that now. They had all bunched up here by that gateway because they thought they were going into it, but the lead's taken off now, so that's all good. Problem solved. There we go. Come on. There's Vedora utes galore. We've got Eden back again. She was here when we dehorned the calves. Martha, who's going to run me over. And Kerry, I think too, was going to scan some.
Kia ora.
Hello, Martha.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, it's been better.
It's been better. Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. I just don't think this year's
Oh,
that good.
Okay.
Yeah, lot of empty cows.
You reckon?
Yeah, over 10%. Melissa's back too, and she's also. Are you in training? Would you call it that?
Yeah, I'd say in training.
Yeah, so in training, Martha's gonna check all the empty ones, and she can actually see what she's scanning with this little reader, which is pretty cool. So heaps of people, which is good. Are you ready for the first lot?
Ready to go, please?
Here we go, game on. So what's happening is Eden's calling out the number of like the last scan, and then Melissa's pretty much just confirming it. So there's only 3 options. It's going to be correct, it's going to be not correct and the bull would have got it, or it's going to be empty. Oh, great start. The first 3 are good.
109. 86. Is that a pink one? Yeah, it's a bull. Come back out. Do it again. She's pushing on you at the moment. You can see it. Come out all the way. Pop loop on. Go back in. She wants you to get out, yeah. There it is.
I would go with the 80.
Yep, happy.
Righto girls, no empties in that row. Must still be at the end. That might be enough. We'll leave the last one empty. Actually, maybe not. Coming in now, I've had 1 empty, 2 empty, and I think there's one up there. I knew about the one that was in here somewhere, but there's number 11, so she had 1 mating back in the start in the first couple of weeks, and then she hasn't come on since. So that's a little bit annoying. Haven't seen anything on the heat intensity. How many of these cows do you check, Martha, are actually in calf?
114 is good. Not too
No.
many.
I think that's the 3rd row and 3 empties. So that's 1% up to at the moment. I guess the worst thing is that I didn't know 2 of those were empty. So when I was saying 11 to 12%, maybe it might be quite a bit higher. It might be sitting around that 15, which that's a little bit scary. Like, that's getting up there, but hopefully it's just this year and next year it's not. But it probably got probably halfway at the moment through this herd. Tracking along all right.
5. The tags are really good here. It makes it fast. Plus,
Sorry, Eden.
105.
105 is good. 206.
Speak beat. 105.
Last row. Come on, girls. Some of them aren't used to going on the rights, but we'll get there. Come on. Come on. I like that one. Maybe both of them. Come on. Just pull that gate forward a little bit. 1 more to go. Kerry's turned up. She's got her stilts on. They're actually pretty high. I wouldn't want to walk around on them.
Yep, that's good.
Can you see how many empties are in there, Eden? Will it tell you? Or do you have to wait till the end? Yeah, please. 10 empties in there. 10. I'd have to go and look at my thing. I thought I had about 10 2-year-olds that were empty, so that might be better than what I thought. But it's the next herd, so will there be 20 empty cows in there? Maybe. It's all set for them just to go back to that chicory. Just want to slow them down because there's a bit of a pinch point into that paddock. He'll be right, I guess. The next mission's going to be these cows. Hopefully they come out through this gateway. I think if I ride around enough behind them they will, but at least they're close to the shed. It's actually a bit of a silly gateway, this one. I do kind of want to change it when the digger comes. Pull this little bit of hedge out behind me and put up some rails and just make it easier. I hate this intersection. I tried getting them out that gateway before, but they were just sitting down here in the corner, so I thought I'll take a cut out, take them up, we'll start taking them up, and if the rest of the cows follow them up this fence line, which I'm predicting they will, then I'll just get them out that gate. But I'll run some to the shed anyway and they can make a start. Go on, Ed. They might all go, I don't think they will. Front just started to turn back around. Sun's coming out now, it's getting warm. Probably got 2/3 of them here in a cut, which I thought I'd just take up because they sort of stop otherwise. Or maybe more than 2/3. There's still some in the paddock which I'll go back and get soon, but as long as I can get most of these to the shed. On to the second herd. It took a little bit to get them out of that paddock, to be fair. A little bit of swearing going on, but we got there. We're into it now. Melissa's shot off. She just scanned the first herd, now Kerry's doing the second. John's come over to help me, Holly's dad. Dad had to go to a funeral over in the bay. That's why he's not here.
Yep, that's good. 84. 90, 111. 90 is good.
It's interesting for this cow, this is one of the anestrus ones, so we treated her for non-cycling. Oh, she's pregnant, hopefully they are. Oh damn, the bull's got her. Oh no. Next year, eh? Next year. Oh, at least she's still in calf. Probably a row and a half in the yard, plus this row, and the battery ran out of the tablet. We're going to the monitor there. And they're just writing it down on paper, and then we enter it in later on, just like that. Look at that, 3 empties in a row. Damn, which is all good, it doesn't really matter, but we just won't know the results when we finish. It'll just take a little bit longer, which is alright. It's actually pretty handy. I put them there this morning because I've just put them back in there so they can get to their water. Usually I just leave them in the race, but if they want water now, they can get it. We're getting there.
Like adhesions or something. Ah, it's just thick and grotty. Is she an older girl?
Yeah.
172 is empty.
You just do 185.
Yeah.
And she had a big calf?
Yes.
Perfect. It's one of the favourites, that third one back. So she's got an AI calf. So does her sister and mother. This one looks a bit thin, this cow, but she's milking well. Is she in calf?
2, 3, 8.
Last one.
Lucky last.
Come on, girl. End on a high note.
Be around 105.
There we go. AI and that calf. Another one. That is it. All done. Thank you very much, girls. And Melissa, she's not here. She's shot off. I'd love to know the 6th week though, Martha.
I'll get it to you ASAP. Sorry.
Nah, that's all good. Doesn't matter. Definitely a messy job. Pregnancy scanning though. Look at all the poo. Far out. So usually, yeah, we have a bit of a debrief right about now at the end, but not today because we don't know the results. But I don't think they're too bad. I think I still think we're still gonna have a good 6 week in calf, despite having a high empty rate. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel frustrated.
That's
but
alright.
I think overall, I think there was probably less empties in that big second herd than I was expecting.
Oh yeah.
So I actually feel really.
Well, there was probably 20, which would be 10%. 10 in the first herd plus 20 in the second, which would be 10%.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy with 10%. Like that's alright. It's not the best, but it'll do.
Yeah.
As long as the 6 weeks high.
We will find that out.
If that was under 70, I'd be a bit
We'll
worried.
find that out. We will, sorry, another 2 or 3 hours from now.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That doesn't matter. That's all good. No, thanks heaps for that. Until next
Thank
year.
you, Andrew. Thank you.
Young herds on the move. They're done in their break there. They've been in there a couple of hours, so well done. But they're actually going all the way back around and they're coming down over to the break over there. Jeez, it's amazing how quick it's drying out at the moment. Look at this. Like, we've just had 60 mils in the last week. Like, there is a little bit of moisture down there, but yeah, the top's definitely getting pretty crispy again, that's for sure. The girls have finished on the pad. What usually happens is they usually go that way, but since they were up there and they've had a big sort of walk down, I didn't really want to send them back that way either, because then I'd sort of be, you know, going through a paddock twice as fast up that end, or their night paddock. So what I've done is just put them in where they were going to go today. And it's a bit more of a walk in the morning, but that's all right. I'll just get up a little bit earlier. That'll be sweet. It's nice and cool at the moment. Those results haven't come through yet, so what I think I might do is just have a look at them tomorrow. Dad will be back then and we'll have a little discuss around sort of the collars and how we found them during mating as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Just another hot day today. I'm up at Dad's. The results have come back. They actually came back last night and we did way better than expected. So the not in calf rate, or the empty rate, was 9%, which is pretty good. That's also including a couple of cows that we sent to the works that were during that mating time. So I highlighted the sort of key ones. The other one, the 6 week in calf rate, is at 81%. I thought it was 82, but it's gone down overnight to 81, which is good. Like anything over sort of 80's doing really well, so real happy with that. Considering the empty rate is a little bit high. But one of the other big factors is conception rate. So this is how many cows held to that AI, and it's up at 67%, which is like phenomenal. Martha said that's the highest she's ever seen in her vetting career, which is pretty awesome. Just a couple of other little lists I made as well. So these were the 30 anestrus cows that I pulled out. I didn't do all of them, I only did 22 of these, but I couldn't find the record of which ones we did. But they are all in calf except for one, and we probably did treat that one. So that's all right. Like 1 out of 30's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And these are the empty cows that I had on the group I made. So all the ones that are highlighted purple are the ones that are empty, and the other ones are actually in calf. So I need to sort of go and do a little bit of a deep dive and see why they're actually in this empty one, seeing if they're showing up on the collars as being empty or whatever. But yeah, 17 are empty out of 35 on this list. So in general, that's a pretty good mating, and pretty happy with that. Like, that conception rate is outstanding. Martha always says we always get a real high one because we've got a good AI technician.
AB technician, yep.
But yeah, 67's pretty good. Like, I honestly don't think you'd see many people go above that. If she said she's never seen it before, so...
Really? Oh, that's pretty good.
No, she's never seen it over 62, I think.
Oh.
I mean, there probably are people around that have gone above it, but yeah, that's pretty good for us. But yeah, what do you think? Pretty good?
He's got to be good. So maybe these collars are working to their, an advantage to doing AB. They tell you at the right time. I suppose you've worked it out the right time to be ABing the cows, which has worked out well.
Yeah, obviously the information that we're getting from the collars is correct. I still don't think that the empty rate's too bad. Like 9%'s fine. I was predicting it to be like 12, which still would have been all right. It's not like 20, which then it makes it a little bit harder. But yeah, definitely with that conception rate too, like it just means that we're using less straws as semen. You know, they're holding from that first insemination and they're not coming around again. So we're using less semen, which is, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, we're probably saving, I don't know, maybe $500, maybe more, maybe $1,000. Which,
oh, that's right. Well, next year you won't have to order so much semen. We'll save $500 then.
Yeah, well, exactly. So in the
Excellent.
grand scheme of things, I mean, it's only tiny, but it's something. But the other thing is, what'd you think of the mating with the collars on? Because this was our first year.
Yeah, well, it's easy for me because I don't need to look at my cows looking at tail paint or those scratches on their back. So and it's handy with you milking with me, of course. So you just tell me which cows to AB. So it's so easy. Yeah, so easy for me.
Yeah, we just get a list every morning of which cows are on, and yeah, it makes it pretty simple. Especially, you know, that's the thing with tail paint. You've been AIing the cows for what, 30 years plus?
Yeah, there are like cows you don't know whether it's been scraped off or not. You don't know whether to AB them or not. So it's better to AB a cow just in case, of course.
Yeah, and then that's the sort of theory. You're doing them too early, you're doing them too late. Whereas we've got the information now that we know when it is a good time to do it. Well, there was one actually that's interesting. Number 20. I missed her that morning. I forgot to draft her out, or we forgot to do her. We got her that afternoon, but she'd actually come off, like her heat had actually come off, but she was still got in calf to it, so she was on the late side, but yeah, still held. But yeah, it makes it a lot easier, not using any indicators. Like with tail paint, you've got to touch it up, and even when we were doing it, you know, I'd have a cow and I'd be like, well, is she on? And I asked Dad, you know, is she on? Do you think she's on? And you know, he'd say, oh, I don't know. And so we'd just put her up anyway. But
Yep, so that's definitely more accurate, no doubt about it.
and the scratchies definitely helped when we went to them. Like I thought they were better, but they all cost money too. So we're definitely saving a little bit by not having to use indicators.
But that you need to have a look at that, because if there are that you thought were 35 were empty and only 17.
Yeah, I think there's 22. I think we had 22 empties, or 22 empties total in the herd now. Plus, yeah, there were 4 culls, which it equates to that back in December. It adds them in as being empty, which makes it, I think it was just under 9%, so it's rounded up. But yeah, I need to go and have a look through these and see why some of them are on here, and also there must be a few that aren't on here. So yeah, sort of need to find that out. But in general, collars are good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they work well, definitely.
And then the results speak for themselves. Plus, yeah, it just makes mating time so much easier, stress-free.
Yeah, it does, no doubt about it.
It's actually quite interesting. Like you'd see cows getting ridden, but you'd say, oh, this one must be on, but it wasn't. Like it hadn't registered, so we'd sort of leave it for the next day, and you know, yeah, it's quite interesting. But yeah, good result. Happy. I was pretty not nervous, like I was saying, but
because last year the collars were only put on at the start of mating, weren't they? So we weren't really, there wasn't probably a lot of information stored at that stage. Is that right?
yeah, exactly. One of the other things too is I'll find it and try to put it up in a photo on screen, but the return rate, so the short and long returns we have gone way down since we've got the collars. Like the normal returns have extended, but we're getting less long and short. And you could even see that last year, I know we only put them on after 10 days, and we only sort of did half the season with them, and it was a bit hard to use that information from last season. But yeah, even the returns from last year, yeah, the short and long sort of diminished. So yeah, it's pretty interesting in that aspect. But yeah, happy. It gives us options now, so that's good. Could probably even go like less replacement rate. We're sitting at, well, we did take a few less this year, probably sitting at like 21 or 22%. But yeah, we could.
We'll see how the mating with those heifers goes. So see how many of those hold, and see how many heifer calves we get out of that.
Yeah, well, Merv said he's seen 2 getting ridden, so that's, yeah, most of them should. Yeah, most of them. No, that have, after the bulls came out recently, he's seen 2 getting ridden. So that's all right too. Hopefully it's good there. But thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.
Bye.